Hello, Jacob. And also, real quick, too, forgot to mention this earlier, but I was kind of busy doing stuff. But the Minnesota Vikings, on top of letting go of Adam Thielen, also let go of Cam Dantzler. Boy, yeah, Kwesi and Kevin, the boys, yeah, like I say, Kwesi and Kevin are just, they're taking no prisoners at this point. They're literally saying, clean house and start over. Which is a good thing, but at the same time also scares me a little bit too, because if this thing doesn't work out, like there's always that possibility it won't, then we could really be up a creek if we have to move on. But, to be fair though, if you're a GM, if you're a coach, if you're any sort of, higher up of a team, this is what you gotta do. Yeah, sure, does it sting to let go of arguably, one of the best Vikings, or like one of the most sentimental, players out there? Of course it does. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you feel is in the best interest of the team, of the city, and of the franchise. I mean, think about it. Thielen's getting older. The style of offense is changing. He is injury prone. Just like when we got rid of Eric Kendricks. I mean, EK was starting to get up there too. And the style of defense that we're playing, just doesn't quite suit them anymore. And in fact, there's even rumors of more players that could be cut. So, it is what it is. Again, it is what it is at the end of the day, but does it suck? Yes, but especially because, good God, how many players do we have left from that 2020 draft? It's got to be fewer than like 5 at this point. I mean, hell, pretty much going into last year, we jettisoned everyone from the, 3rd and 4th round. So, but yeah, all I could say is free agency and the draft this year are going to get very, very interesting. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to miss Cameron Dantzler. I mean, who knows if it could have worked here in Minnesota, or if it was just a case of cutting your losses before they become bigger issues. Who knows? I mean, I know injuries have been a real big issue and just stuff like that, but it still sucks because he's a young player. But again, as I've mentioned before, this team is only going to become a lot more different. I mean, there's going to be a lot more moves, in my opinion. Whether or not I agree with them, that remains to be seen. And like I say, free agency is in about 5 to 10 days or so. The draft is coming up within about a month and a half. This team could look even more different going into training camp and into September than it already does. And it already looks very different. Very different from even just a month ago. From the same team that lost to New York in the championship game, or in the, I wish it was the NFC championship game, in the first round. And which was even different than the team that started last year off, back last September. So, it's a business, it sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is, so. Oh, until we meet again, though, this is Jacob. Have a good night, and stay tuned if there's any more breaking news or anything like that. And also stay tuned, too, because, well, for all of you who've been waiting on my reaction for the Minnesota Wild and the incident that happened a couple nights ago, you will get your wish. So, until we meet again, this is Jacob. Have a good night.